Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the February Planning and Zoning Board meeting. I'd like to ask everybody to please stand and pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Both notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meeting Act has been given by the clerk in the following manner: posted on the bulletin board in the Borough Clerk's office and emailed to the retrospect and the Courier Post. Our first order of business tonight would be the swearing in of 3 members, please. Mr. Rowan.
Okay, Greg, Harry, and Kathy, if you please stand. And then you're going to repeat after me. When I say aye, you're going to repeat state your name and just follow along. I,
Greg Lobenstein,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of New Jersey,
and the Constitution and laws of the state of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and that I will perform all of the duties
and I will perform all the duties
of a member
of a member
of the Planning and Zoning Board
of the Planning and Zoning Board
of the Borough of Runnemede
of the Borough of Runnemede
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
All right, guys, thank you. Congratulations. All right, next order of business, roll call. Ms. Pinto?
Chairwoman Leon.
Here.
Mr. Oakley.
Here.
Ms. Cushion is excused.
Okay. Mr. Buckheim.
Here.
Mr. Vinalo.
Here.
Ms. Farmer. Here. Mr. Rozunk.
Here.
Mayor Kapaz is
Here.
excused.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Here.
Ms. Burke.
Here.
Ms. Walker.
Here.
Mr. Masilli.
Here.
Mr. Rowan.
Here.
And Mr. Bach.
Here.
Thank you very much. I don't believe we have anything under old business, if I'm mistaken.
Just a minute.
Right. Okay. Has everyone received a copy of the minutes, and are there any questions or corrections on the minutes from last meeting? Well, accept the motion to accept the minutes.
I make that motion.
All right. Mr. Vanella and Mr. Ockley, all in favor? Aye. Okay. Under new business, we have application 22-12. Mr. Rowan.
Yes, call Mr. Floyd. This is the attorney representing the applicant. I believe there's going to be a request, Madam Chair, that this matter be continued. Apparently, the applicant, whose presence is really needed, had an emergency and had to leave the country and go to India.
Right. Madam Chairwoman, yes, for the record, Michael Floyd with the firm of Archer and Browner, on behalf of the applicant, and as Mr. Rowan just said, we do have our project team here, our civil engineer, our architect, and our planner. Unfortunately, our fact witness, the applicant, on behalf of Charlotte Hospitality, had a death in the family, has to leave the country. And with the operational data that Mr. Bach requested in his review letter, and I believe the board members would like, we really need to have Mr. Patel here to answer those questions. So we would ask for a continuance of this hearing until the March hearing date.
Okay.
One other point, there is a Mr. Yanenko and his wife in the audience. They did have some questions and concerns about the application with headlight glare. We've spoken with them over the last couple of days, and we will be revising the plan to provide some additional landscaping and buffering to help with any headlights that may be going into his yard.
Okay. So, Mr. Yanecko, you understand that this application is going to be held in its entirety next month, so you will not be renoticed. So if you have questions or concerns and you want to speak on this application, consider this your notice as it is going to transpire on the March meeting, okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Sorry for his loss.
Thank you. Again, I know everyone, we were the only item on the agenda, but we
No
appreciate the continuance and
No
the
worries.
response.
No worries. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so we have that. So, well, a couple of small things under my report that I wanted to talk about, totally kind of, obviously off topic of planning and zoning per se. We had a nice meeting on Monday at the Harry Williams building. We had some fellows from a company that's doing some facade improvements. Reimagine Runnemede, I believe, paid them $5,000, if I'm not mistaken. And they're going to consult with some companies, and I believe that the area of concentration is going to Emmett Bridge Road up to, I believe, 4th or 5th Avenue, something of that nature. And I think they're going to try to help out 4 or 5 or 6 businesses predicated upon how much money everything costs. They're hoping to have design plan in place by possibly late summer, early fall, and then implementation, sometime next year, which I thought was, really, really cool. And something that I really don't want to interrupt the meeting on Monday night, but we had a lot of our local businesses and business owners attend that meeting, and frankly, they're the anchors of our town. They're really the anchors of our town, and I was wondering if maybe on, and of course Mary Kapas isn't here this evening, but I just wanted to put it on the record so I don't forget about it. If we could do something to encourage folks to shop local. I don't know that all the people in town know, okay, here's, we have, a jeweler in town, we have a this in town, we have a that in town. If we could maybe do something on our next newsletter, or perhaps if Reimagine Runnemede, we want to do something on their newsletter to encourage people to shop local, because, you look around and you see, there's dentists, there's doctors, there's a florist, there's all these businesses, and I would just like to reward them for, hanging in there in what's been a tough business environment. When the state took away the northbound parking on the Black Horse Pike, that was very detrimental to our business area in that area of town. So, if we could somehow do something to highlight our businesses, if we do I don't know, something on our website, Business of the Month, do something where we go out to Cobfathers and we do a highlight on them and we just put it on our webpage. It really doesn't cost anything except some time, and maybe, my son does Pine Hill's website, and they do everything. He does everything from, he goes on the raids and he takes pictures of all the property. He goes and he does the parades. He does everything from the town hall meetings. So I don't think we do enough of that, in my opinion, to promote our local businesses, and they really need our help. I want to see them stay in town. I hate to see anybody, open up and then you see the business shuttered 6 months later because they didn't make it. The dog grooming place, I'm not sure if they're closed now. Okay, because I go by there and it's just, it used to be, the sign was open. They've only been around for maybe 6 months. I would hate to see, some people put their life savings into opening up a new business. They put everything they have, They say, okay, let's do this. And they take a brave step and they do it. And then I think we need to do more to help them, from a planning and zoning in town and whatever, whatever we can do, we have the platform to do it. So I'd like to, maybe we could even, I know that you and Sharon and, you do a lot with Reimagine Runnemede, and, maybe we can talk to Ken and see what his thoughts are. Maybe we can just have like a workshop meeting or something. But it's just, we'll talk to Nick and ask what he thinks about putting something on the borough website. That would have to go through mayor and council, I'm sure. That's not something that we can dictate. But just going forward, just maybe make it a point to look around the businesses, and maybe next month we can bring back some thoughts of how we can maybe help them. We don't want to we don't want to have the flags out and all it gets so messy. When people put those waving flags and the temporary, we allow the temporary banners for 30 days out of the year if they're having a grand opening or some type of a special event. They're allowed to come to the borough and apply for a permit for a 30-day special banner or something like that. But we don't want to have the town, littered and cluttered with, all kinds of stuff. Like when you get down the shore, there's those those flags flopping and, you know, they fall down, they blow over, and they don't get put in at night, and it becomes an eyesore, and it's not really what we want. It's the same thing with those stick signs, you know, and the mattress sale sign where they hook them to the, you know, the telephone poles, and they just stick them in the ground. We don't want that. So I think if we could maybe get a little bit creative, you know, see what other towns are doing to promote their businesses, you know, and go to the businesses. Do you want to, you know, I always thought, as far as we have a captive audience, we have very many schools in this town, and the schools, if I'm not mistaken, and Charlie, you could probably tell me more so, but don't the schools generally give out some type of packet or something, like maybe 3 times a year?
They do give out information, and they've gone from using paper
Okay.
to putting it out on
Digitally?
Facebook. Yeah, it's all digital. It's quicker,
Sure.
and it's not as costly. Yeah. And you could definitely put something out through the school system. And I tend to believe that the younger people, the children in
Sure.
elementary school and middle school, they like to go out with the kids and
They do.
eat or shop.
And we could allow what I did was, we had this is many moons ago, but when they did the sports pictures, we let the photographer, you know, because they gave the parents really good prices, you know what I mean? Like when the kids were getting a picture taken, they wanted every kid to get their picture taken. So they didn't beat them over the head, they gave them a really good price for the team photo and the individual. And if they wanted to get the baseball cards and all the keychains and stuff, then that was over and above. But we let them put a little flyer in with the packet that went home with the kids for, you know, and let the Boy Scouts put something in, you know, and the Girl Scouts put something in. So that's just another avenue that we could take to try to, if, you know, if Dunkin' Donuts wants to give out a free donut or something, just to get them in the building, you know, and somebody could, I have a coupon for a free donut, and I want 6 more donuts, and I need 2 iced coffees, and I need, you know, just as a, you know, a nice thing to do, number one. And number 2, it gets more people in the door, a free slice of pizza, you know, just, I don't know, I mean, just chew on it for a little bit, and, yes.
I love the idea. So I am the president of the Chamber of Commerce, and I'm always looking for, and it's new, right? The Chamber of Commerce is new. We've only been around for a year. And there's only like 4 people in the executive team, so it's a lot for 4 people to do. So to have this group also supporting and like ideas like that are great. Because it is important to support our businesses, because the stronger they are, then the more it can bring up our whole appearance.
Sure. I mean, I hate-
The stronger our whole community is.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I think it's a great idea, and to be able to use any resources that you think.
And I think if you do it electronically, I would break it down into categories. Doctor's offices, eateries, specialty shops.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I mean, you know, now, when does the Rotary meet?
Rotary?
Yeah, Rotary meets at the Philly Diner, I think, at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I want to say twice a month. We'll have to find that out, because I'd like to get the Rotary involved too.
So Ross Burt is the vice president of the Chamber of Commerce, and he was the president for the Rotary last year, so he's very involved. So
Okay.
they are involved.
Maybe we can network with those folks.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, and-
yeah, I think it's a great idea. I mean, I feel like the more connected we are in every way, the
Yeah.
you know, the better we are.
And David, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe there's any sunshine laws against something like that, if we're just networking and having workshop meetings with different entities of the town.
Yeah.
Like when we
As long
meet,
as it's limited to the town.
yeah, when we meet in the planning and zoning, we can only have 3 folks. You know what I mean? If we're having a sub meeting, like a workshop meeting, we can only have 3 people there under the sunshine law. But if it's not to do
Right,
with
yeah, as long as.
borough business, we're allowed to do whatever we want, right? Okay, so I think maybe we could, you know, talk to your folks, and maybe we can get a meeting together and,
Love it. Yeah.
you know, just start spitballing ideas. It's not gonna happen overnight, but, you know, I want them to feel our support. I really do, because I know they put their heart and soul into it.
They did.
These mama
They were very
pops.
excited about coming in and-
You know, they're up against PetSmart for the dog grooming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the pizzerias are up against Papa John's and Pizza Hut and everybody that has $1 million advertising budget. They don't have anything,
Yeah.
you know, so whatever we can do to try to keep them in town and keep their nose above the water, I think is, we owe it to them.
I agree.
So that's really all I have on my report. Anybody else have anything, well, first we'll open up the meeting to good and welfare. Anybody wishing to speak on any matter whatsoever, please come up to the microphone, state your name and address, and be heard.
Seeing no one from the public who wants to come up, I'd make a motion, we close the public portion.
Second.
Motion Mr. Ockley, seconded by Mr. Musella. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything they want to address? Howard, anything else? You can't talk about the application, obviously, because we're not here, but. Okay. Everybody good? All right, well, with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn at 7:16.
Make a motion.
Second.
Mr. Ockley, seconded by Mr. Vanel. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Meeting adjourned, 7:16.